Hello and welcome to a new video on our HKCM Global channel. My name is Philip. Today I will be taking a look at Bitcoin. A lot has happened, especially yesterday's price action has probably driven up interest again on how will Bitcoin perform over the next weeks and into year end, basically, because this is where we are closing in now. Under 8 weeks until 25 will be history. So I think it's a good point to take another look at Bitcoin. What are my expectations so far? I have been correct with my assumptions that Bitcoin may have topped out already. So let's dive in. First of all, let's take a look at the overall perspective. Nothing new here. I'm still long-term expecting Bitcoin here within wave 3, reaching targets around 197, 235. But nevertheless, as mentioned many times before, I'm expecting a subdivision of this move on the lower time frames, and this is why I'm still eyeing a larger correction at the moment. My ideal target would be around $37,000 for the Bitcoin to complete the correction. But yeah, as has already been shown many times by myself and also on our other channels, I'm not expecting Bitcoin now to go to 37,000 in one direct move. There will be steps on that path, and we are also not quite 100% certain yet if the top is really in. So far, I have not yet called the top to be completed. What I have done so far is I've deactivated the short target zone I had set on the charts here. So I'm short Bitcoin at the moment. I've taken profits in that zone. The move that came up here in the last week, last few days, etc., was not able to recover my target zone. So with the stops that have been set to break even or to the bottom of the zone have not been taken out. So I'm still short. With yesterday's move, things are developing quite nicely, but we have not yet broken the 90,385 level, which is key for me to say yes, I'm now very certain that the top is in, and I would be then calling it as well. So if this level gets broken, which hasn't been so far, then I would be quite confident that the B wave has been completed here, or alternatively, and I want to show that scenario in a little bit more detail today, that I'm also then eyeing the possibility that maybe we have completed wave 1 at the actual high and not as far as I've been expecting it to have been completed already earlier, to be exact here in January of 25. So this would be my alternative scenario. If this would be the case, then we would be maybe getting the possibility to see another short-term intermediate buy possibility around the 70,000 area, because my other scenario would not be seeing a buying opportunity until $51,000, which would be then the next target of the A wave. From there, another sustained uptrend, but a corrective uptrend within the B wave, and then the further demise of the Bitcoin price towards my targets below $40,000. So this would be a little bit of a different scenario. Basically, we would be having the same outcome, but there would be an earlier turning point for a sustained corrective rally within the Bitcoin. And so this will of course be something that I'm going to be eyeing very closely over the next few days and weeks, depending on how things are going to be developing here. So if we break 90,385, I will call the B wave as completed, and I will also then move within my alternative scenario to the assumption that we have completed wave 1 at the actual high, and I would be eyeing a possible short entry as an alternative scenario. This will still not be my primary scenario, but as an alternative outcome, I would be eyeing a possible possible long entry around the $83,000 to $70,000 area, and from there then a sustained corrective upwards move, which could within a B wave, as we know, be even have the possibility of taking out the all-time highs. But if we go back towards the overall expectation, new all-time highs, for me, the probabilities have diminished very much. Even in my alternative scenario, I'm having a lot of difficulties expecting another overshoot in the B wave, because this is what I'm eyeing at the moment, because right now I'm expecting the wave 1 to complete in January, and then the new all-time highs as a B wave, which has been the case with all the other highs as well, or to be exact, with the last major cycle high in 21, and we have seen exactly the same pattern. We have seen a strong A wave, then a B wave, and then a final demise. The only thing that we haven't actually seen yet in terms of the current situation or the current charts is that the first sell-off that we saw in 21 was much stronger than what we have seen so far within this structure. That's why I'm also still seeing the possibility of this just being the A wave and then another strong B wave before we see the C wave, in which also within this scenario it could be possible to see a new all-time high, but this gets more and more complex and more difficult in my perspective, because it would just be a very complex structure, and it would be also a very timely structure, and this is something at the moment I'm not really expecting. So I think if the high was formed within the all-time high was formed within a B wave, it should be right now, or it should be close to its completion, and I'm not expecting after a sustained sell-off now and a break of 98.385 to be seeing another B wave afterwards in the future that would be taking out the all-time highs before continuing the correction. Hence, in my alternative scenario that I've shown, I would also be very much doubting that the B wave would then be able to take out the all-time highs, and I would just be expecting a normal retracement and then a final closeout into the long-term targets for my Bitcoin correction. Also, taking a look at the indicators, a very interesting development now. We have now completed the cross on the MACD on the monthly chart, which has been something I've been waiting for quite some time now to occur, and this is also one of the reasons why I'm not expecting another B wave to be able to take out the all-time highs, because in the past, once the Bitcoin was able to cross the MACD on the monthly time frames, we have not seen new all-time highs, especially going back to the 2021 situation here. We can see clearly there was a high in April of 21, and then there was another high in November of 21, and then after this high in November, the MACD on the monthly crossed to the downside. We got a clear sell signal, and with this the final sell-off was started, and we had no chance of forming another all-time high. And the same thing happened back in 17, respectively 18, early 18. Once we saw let me just zoom in here a little bit to increase visibility, so we can see clearly once the MACD crossed down, no new all-time highs occurring here on the Bitcoin. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm not expecting another possible potential B wave that we may be seeing in the future to be able to take out new all-time highs. So I'm expecting now the market, it is becoming very hard and very unlikely for me that we will be seeing another all-time high on the Bitcoin once this cross is completed. And right now we are crossing on the MACD, and currently I do not have any expectation of this being defended by the bulls here, especially since also the lower time frames are playing along very nicely. The 2-week has already crossed multiple times and is now crossing down again. We have also been seeing some very nice divergences here on the 2-week chart on the MACD as well. So we are also coming down here now with the cross. The weekly has also gone on my long short indicator, has also gone to the short signal here as well. We are starting to see negative momentum on the weekly. 2 weeks still losing momentum, but hasn't gone into negative momentum yet, and the monthly will take some time for that to be showing itself, but we have been constantly losing positive momentum over the last months here as well. Another interesting sideshow I think is to take a look at the total 3 crypto index as well, which is whoever's interested in, you can just find it on TradingView. It's easy to find. It's the total 3 crypto total market cap excluding BTC, Ethereum, and the stable coins, the USDT basically. So another interesting sideshow here for me at the moment. We've also been seeing very nice divergences here on the 2-week chart. The 2-week chart has now just crossed down on the MACD as well. It's gone on the short signal here. Monthly also not looking too hot. We are also closing in on the MACD crossing as well, losing momentum. We have a strong divergence towards the highs from 21 here as well, despite having formed a slightly new high here in terms of that market cap. But also not looking very hot here at the moment. The weekly has already completed its cross a while ago, so seeing this very similar structures here, they all supporting the case that we have to take, we have to accept the fact probably that Bitcoin has topped out, and my final signal here would be a break of 98,385, which could now be seen any day. Currently, as of today, the video has been recorded on Wednesday, so currently we are seeing a little recovery from the lows here that we formed last night. But if we take a look at the short-term indications on Bitcoin, it's not a big surprise here. We've been very much so oversold on the lower time frames here, so a little relief rally is no surprise to me at the moment. Nevertheless, now the interesting thing will be, are the lower time frames then going to be, are they staying within the short signal range, or will they be able to regain strength here? At the moment, I'm not expecting them to go off, to go back from the short signal to a bullish flip here on the lower time frames. I've seen this multiple times in all those coin sell-offs in the past, that once the higher time frames have topped out, despite being the lower time frames being highly oversold, etc., that bounces have been short-lived, and those lower time frames then have little to no impact on the direction of the market, as long as the longer time frame, higher time frame indications are pressing down on the market. We are seeing lower lows over the time, and the market is not able to be taking a relief recovery or a stronger relief recovery until at least time frames on the 4-day would be my best indicator here at the moment. So before the 4-day is not becoming strongly oversold, I'm not expecting any long-term relief occurring within the Bitcoin corrective moves here. Also, if you take a look at this, going back to the correction from 21, we saw the 4-day coming down. Also here, it's also a very similar picture on the 4-day compared to 21. We have seen nice divergences here, as we have seen here. So I'm expecting the 4-day now to be coming down, just as it did over here. I'm expecting it to become oversold, then some relief occurring, then another rise, and then another low, and then hopefully for the final low we can see again that the 4-day has already topped out, or found its bottom in June of 22, and the real lows were then formed in October, November, when it had already started its uptrend again in the MACD and also within the other indicators. That's something I'm looking for now, and these will be for me the earliest signs for a longer lasting bottom or a longer lasting relief in Bitcoin. The lower time frames with the monthly pressing down, with the 2-week pressing down, etc. We cannot expect much to come out of that. Also, they will become again oversold over time as the correction goes on and on. So this is something I would be very cautious with. If somebody is eyeing on those lower time frames for entries, they can be very short-lived, and the market can stay very oversold on those lower time frames for quite some time before any relief or any counter rally is taking place. I've seen that too many times, and too many people are getting burned on those lower time frames. So it's always the directive is coming from the higher time frames, monthly, 2-week, weekly, 4-day, daily, sort of in between, and anything below that, if it is going against what the higher time frames are showing, be careful here. This can be a very short-lived scenario. The market can also just move sideways, resetting those indicators, becoming overbought on the 4-hour, for example, still haven't moved anywhere, and then the next down leg taking place. That's my current expectation on Bitcoin. So I'm very close to finally calling it the day that I am calling the Bitcoin as having topped out within my target zone. If this would be the case, I have to say I would be very proud of that achievement, because currently I'm having a 100% track record on all my target zones on Bitcoin since the lows in 22. And so this play has, I will still be on 100%, because right now I can't be losing money anymore on this trade. But if I have called the top within my target zone, this would be a major achievement for me. I have to say it. Let's see where things are going, and maybe this week we will see the final day of before Bitcoin will be getting called as topped out by myself. If you enjoyed the video, if you're interested in my content or in general into our content, content, also feel free to subscribe to our paid subscription service, and you will be informed on a daily basis what we are expecting for Bitcoin to be happening over the next days and weeks. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, leave a like, all highly appreciated. Thanks for watching.